Hi Flosstube, I'm Sarah, Cross Stitch Sarah, here on YouTube and over on Instagram. And this is my channel all about cross stitch. This is Flosstube number 5 and today is the 2nd of June 2024. Welcome back to everyone that's been here before and welcome to any new subscribers. And if you're watching for the first time, and you like what you see, then do consider subscribing. That would be much appreciated. So I've got a few things to show you today. I've got one finish, which I've also, I was going to say FFO'd. It is FFO'd, but the back isn't finished. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. I've got 3 new starts, 3 whips, 2 of which were the whip go numbers for May, which I completed, and 1 other whip. And then, yeah, some news, some plans, some happy mail, and a lot of haul. I mean, I know it's only been a couple of weeks because I did a short video a couple of weeks ago because I wanted to announce the giveaway winner from before, and I said to you guys then that I wanted to start filming at the beginning of each month to kind of do a monthly wrap up, so a wrap up of May at the beginning of June and so on. So obviously this is only going to be a partial May wrap up because you've already seen some bits of May at a couple of weeks ago. But in my defence, the haul, I did go away for a weekend to just into Wales, near Oswestry, with some stitchy friends, and we had a fabulous time. We went to a fabric shop, a sewing fabric shop on the first day. That's where we met, and then we went off to the Airbnb, and then on the Saturday we went to the wonderful Create Nostalgia. Just love that shop. And Mary and I can't remember the lady's name. Is it Andrea? Oh, I'm so sorry, but they are the most amazing ladies. They're just so fabulous. Nothing is too much trouble. And yeah, we had a great time there shopping. So got a few bits to show you, and then interspersed into that are other purchases that may have been made because things like Mama Loves UGB had brought out the most beautiful bird chart, and then I get that, and then a week later she brings out another beautiful bird chart. I mean, so I'm totally blaming Michelle for those purchases. And there are a lot of my stitchy friends who are total enablers. Send me links, put pictures on their Instagram that makes me have to go and look, and then things fall in my basket. What can I say? So if you don't like to see lots of happy mail and haul and things that I've acquired, then when I get to that bit, you might want to fast forward or switch off, which is totally fine. I totally understand there are people that just don't enjoy that section of a video. Anyway, let's start with the finish and the FFO almost, and into whips, and then we'll go from there. So the finish and almost FFO, I'm going to try and hold this on a bit of a board because it was a bit, you could see through it, is Woodland Whimsies by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. There you go. So this was a subscription box from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and you can dip in and out of those the same way as you can with the Cotton and Twine subscription boxes, and I'm sure there are lots of others out there too that do the same thing. So you have to sign up for the subscription, but if you don't want the next one, you can just cancel and come out. There's no kind of long-term commitments or anything like that. And I saw this chart and I just really liked it, so I subscribed for this one, and then I cancelled because I wasn't so keen on the next one. But yeah, Woodland Whimsies. It came with all the threads, which are DMC, and it did come with a piece of a really nice colour, sagey green Ada, 16 count Ada, but I swapped that out for this Murano even weave, which is Swigar Olive, 32 count. And it's just lovely. And then I bought, the fabric's probably about, it never really shows very well. It's a lot greener and brighter than it shows on here. And I bought this hoop from Etsy just to finish it in. And what I was saying about not fully FFO'd is I haven't done anything with the back. But you wouldn't have known that if I hadn't shown you, so let's pretend you didn't see. So yeah, like that. Okay, pop that board over there now. So that was the only finish I had, and partial almost FFO. So new starts. So I got this kit on eBay a while ago. It's a vintage kit, it was from America. I didn't get it from a UK seller. It was an American seller, and it doesn't have any kind of copyright dates or anything like that on it. So I'm not really sure how old it is or anything like that. And my daughter-in-law Bethany is doing a Disney cross stitch, having not long returned from her honeymoon with my son to Disney and Universal and all of that. So I said I would join her in a little bit of a Disney stitch. So I'm just stitching Pluto. I'm not doing the whole thing at the moment. Pluto's my favourite character, so I thought I'd join in with him. However, when I say started, what I mean is like that many stitches. Like, I mean, it's pitiful really, isn't it? So I do need to do a little bit more on him, because that doesn't look like anything at the moment. I think it's like started in the centre, so I think it's his kind of his mouth or nose coming through, but yeah, not great. But anyway, it's a start. It's a start. Got to start somewhere. Then another new start I had was while I was away at the weekend. One of the people that went was Sammy from who organises the Floss Friends UK retreats and is also Little Loop Stitching on Instagram. She has a stitch design company called the Old Barn Stitching Co. And I got this chart when we were at the retreat that is one of hers. Berry Barn Pin Keep. I mean, who doesn't love a giant pink house and fluffy sheep? I mean, well, I do. So I thought, right, while we're away at the weekend, I'll get that started. And I did some at the weekend, and then obviously, well, not obviously, I have done some since I got back. So, and this is where it's at now. So the colours on the chart are all DMC. Let me just double check. I think that's right. Yeah, all DMC. And I've just used some threads that I had in my box that are actually anchor threads. So I haven't matched the numbers or anything like that. I've just pulled out the threads that I thought were similar, and I've just gone with those because, well, that's what I wanted to do. I think they look really good, and they are pretty much the same as the called for. Like I say, I haven't checked whether they are a match to the DMC choices or not. So that's that. And then the other new start I had was the new Sal from Love Poppets that you've probably seen all over Instagram, called Dreaming of Summer Sal. Now, I haven't got a printout of the picture, so if I can find one, and I'll pop it in here. We're up to part 2. I've finished part 1 apart from the yellow, because I didn't have any of the yellow DMC that was required to finish off the flowers and the sunflowers and tulips and stuff. So I'm waiting for that to come. But otherwise, part 1 is finished. And then I've started part 2. I'll also insert pictures here of where I got to yesterday, and then realised that I'd miscounted and had to rip half of it out this morning. So last night it just went in the naughty corner because I couldn't cope. I was not very happy, but it was my own fault. So this is where I am with this. Just bring that in. So I had stitched a lot more of the top of this cottage. I'd got right over to this side, and there's like a little heart in the middle and the windows, and I'd miscounted and not left enough window space, if you like, here. And I'm all for fudging it and carrying on, but it would literally have thrown off so much that it just had to come out. And I must just say, really sorry about my nails. I had them done for the wedding, which, as you know, is like nearly a month ago, and I've just let them kind of chip off, and I know it's bad, sorry. So yeah, so I had to rip all that out this morning. Not happy, but I'll get back to it. So I'm stitching mine on 32 count Zweigart Murano in the colour Soft Cream, with all the called for DMC, apart from the yellow, which I haven't got yet, like I said. And that's where we are with that one. Okay. And then the only other whip that I worked on that wasn't a whip go number is Little House Needlework Schoolgirl Lessons. So this was a bit of a Sal stitch along with Somi Sarah and Sally from Flossie Sews and Grows. They're doing their 50 new starts for their 50th birthdays this year. Fun for 50 Sal 2024. So one of the things that they were stitching was this, and various people joined in, most of whom have finished, because it's not a very big chart, but I just seem to have too much going on. So I'm here with mine. So this has got a mistake that has been fudged. So in the roof, I have done one less row. So the roof should be come down further and then the house start. So what I've had to do is make my door taller and these two side bits under the bottom windows one row more so that it fits in the, so it comes down to the ground basically, because I'd got all the windows in and I was sort of, and I thought, oh, I think I'd got into this bit actually, and then I realised and I thought, I'm not ripping that out, I'm just going to add a row. So I did count her head off these doodads here, so she will have an extra row in her skirt as well. But there you go. So this is on linen by Fibre on a Whim, I think. Has it still got the tag on? No. And it's called Morganite. It's 32 count. And that was from Peakside Needleworks, who are a great online needlework store. So that's that one. And then the there was 3 Whipgo numbers picked for May because 13 was picked. And my 13 is Saga. And whilst I've hardly done anything on it, and it would have been a great opportunity to do some more, May was a very busy month for me with the wedding and various other things. So I knew I wouldn't be able to stitch on the 3 Whipgo pieces and all the other stuff I wanted to do. So, and my Saga is in a big Q-snap that my Lowry stand won't hold because of all the extra fabric and the weight. So I haven't worked any of that out yet, how that's going to, just how to make it easier and not fall. If anybody, it's a 17 by 11 Q-snap, but obviously Saga, I'm talking about, by Long Dog Samplers, is a huge piece. So there's a lot of fabric and it seems to get weighed down on one side and just keeps falling out of the Lowry, and it just won't hold it. And I can't hold it in my hand to stitch. It's just too big. So if anybody's got any tips or any sort of tricks they use for larger projects with lots of fabric in and still use their Lowry stand, then please let me know. So I wasn't going to stitch on that anyway. That is a free square, so you can pick to just leave it free. So I've left that. The other 2 numbers called for were 2 of my projects that I have stitched on before. One of them during Whipgo and obviously the other one before Whipgo. So the first one I stitched on is Heartstring Samplery, Beth Twist, Words to Live by, Love. So it's basically the Bible verse that is love is patient, love is kind, and so on. Now I've changed mine slightly, so you can see in between, I'll get it close enough, where's the one? So you can see in between some of the words like here, there's like 1 stitch as like a dot. So I've changed that to 3 little stitches so it looks a little bit like a heart, because I've stitched all the words love in a red thread and then I've done the little 3 stitches like a heart in red. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So this is where this is now. I'm really pleased with how it's looking. So if I bring it in a little bit, fold it in, you can see there that I've done the 3 little stitches like a heart and obviously the word love in the red. So this is stitched on. Now it's the called for. I think it's, oh, I didn't look it up. That's really bad. It's 32 count linen. I think it might be a week's linen. I'll have to put it on the screen. I think it might be Swiss Cocoa, but I might not have that quite right. And the threads, the called for thread is a week's dye works Coll, C-O-H-K-O-H-L, I think. Again, I'll put it on the screen. Which I've used for the dark coloured words, but for the red I've used week's dye works Candy Apple. And that's that. And then the other one for Whipgo was Nessie Mitchell by the wonderful Mama Loves UGB, Michelle. If you don't watch her YouTube, then you should be. So I've done this before. I stitched it as a sort of remembrance piece for my maternal grandmother, and I took out this middle section with the vowels and the name Nessie Mitchell, and I just used 1 crown either end, and I put my grandma's, I'm going to show you in a minute, my grandma's name and year that she was born in the middle. And then I decided to stitch it again for my paternal grandmother, so my nanan. So I've done the same, and you'll see that on my nanan's one I've miscounted, so the crown, her name and details and the crown are not in the center, sort of in line with these alphabets, but I'd gone all the way and I'm fine with it. So let me show you my grandma's one that I'd finished. So that's the one I finished. My grandma, Winifred Mary. And then this is where I am on my Nanan's one. So you can see it's not centered within the alphabets, but I wasn't going to rip it out. It's fine. So on this one, obviously, I've only just got now the bottom border to do, and she'll be finished as well. And then I've got two frames that are the same, but one is a darker stain than the other. They're a little bit different in colour, but other than that, they're the same. So I'm going to frame them like that. They are both stitched on, so I got 36 count linen in platinum using Classic Colourworks black coffee thread, and I'm just using one strand. I'm never so sure on 36 count. I don't stitch on it very often, and I don't think I like one strand, but sometimes two strands is too much. So I think it's fine for these because they're not primitive, but they don't have any blasts of colour or any massive chunks of stitching that are going to look, you know, like you've not got very good coverage. I think they look fine, but yeah, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's the whips. A few. I think I'd worked on 9 different projects in the whole of May, because the other thing I think I worked on, or a couple of things, were at the beginning of the month, so you probably saw those in the last video. I completed the whip goes. I had 4 new starts overall and 1 finish, so not too bad, I don't think. So now we're into happy mail, because I've had some happy mail, and haul. So yeah, maybe actually I'll do the news and plans and so on now, and then the haul is the very last thing, and if you want to switch off, you can just switch off there and you're not going to miss out on anything else. So the news is not anything to do with me. It's to do with Rachel from Talking Dog, who is Talking Dog Stitcher here on YouTube and on Instagram. And she is opening an online needle workshop called Talking Dog Stitchery. So this is super exciting. Rachel is absolutely wonderful. Her videos are wonderful. She's just such a lovely person. So to find out that she's going to be opening her own online store was just great news, really good news. So it's opening on the 14th of June, I believe. I think it's 5 p.m. I've got some screenshots of her, what she put on her Instagram story and on post. So I'll pop those in here, and her logo, so you know who it is if you haven't seen her before. Go find her on Instagram. Go find Talking Dog Stitchery on Instagram. And you can sign up for a newsletter on her website via email, so you get all the shop news. You won't miss out on anything. She's been showing sneak peeks on her shop Instagram, the Talking Dog Stitchery, of charts that she's going to be adding to the store, and bits and bobs. And I know she was talking about it on her latest Flosstube, so go and check that out. She talks quite a bit about what she's going to have and what she's waiting for to come in. I think she said she's waiting for cottage garden threads to arrive, so that's super exciting. So definitely go and check her out, and then yeah, then shop from the 14th of June. Plans for me, we've got the June whip go numbers. So they're numbers 2 and 25. Mine are Reaching Skyward, which is Modern Folk Embroidery stitch along from 2022 maybe. I'm not very far along with that, so it'll be good to get some progress on that. And then my number 25 is a little quite a small piece that was in a magazine. I didn't think it really had a title. I've called it Adventures with You. I might pop a picture in if I can. But it's basically 2 walkers looking at the mountains, and it's a nice little scene, to be fair. I mean, it's like I say, it's tiny, but it is sweet. So there'll be my whip goes. Then today, I wasn't sure we'd have a date, but about midnight last night in a group chat on Instagram, we decided on today. A few of us, including Charlie Feathers, the Soul Stitchers, go and watch those on YouTube. Lovely ladies, Marion and Fanny, Emily, Kim, so Stitchy Squirrel, Stitching by the Seaside, Laura of Cotton and Clay, or Butterfly Stitches. Who else? I'm bound to have missed someone, and I'm so sorry if I have. But anyway, a group of us are all going to be stitching the Seaside Tiny Town. I've left it over there. I'll have to put a picture in. So the Seaside Tiny Town chart, all of us are doing it on sort of different fabrics. Some of us are using the cord 4 threads. Some of us are using the DMC called for. Some of us are using stuff we've just found in our stash. So it's all going to, it's going to be great because they're all going to look a little bit different, but we'll all be stitching along together. So we'll be starting that today. So I just need to pull out some threads. So I think I'm just going to pull out random threads that roughly look like the right colours and go from there. So that's one thing. And then if you don't know, there's also virtual cross stitch camp that started yesterday. So for June, July and August, the 3 months, we have a virtual camp which is run by Sherry of Colorado Cross Stitcher. She has YouTube and Instagram, so go and check her out. And in her video, she tells you all about camp, all about the rules. Each month there's a different prompt that is for that month. And then if you upload your pictures to Instagram of your start and your finish within the month, then you can be entered into a drawing to win. They're usually great prizes, project bags, charts, all sorts of bits and bobs. So yeah, go and check out Sherry at Colorado Cross Stitcher for that. I'm only joining in August. I just didn't feel I'd really got time to add more things into June and July. And the August prompt is to stitch on something new to you. So a new designer, a new fabric dyer, a new type of thread, whatever it might be. So I've got a chart that I'm going to do that by a designer I haven't stitched before, and a piece of fabric that I haven't stitched on by that fabric dyer too. So obviously that will come nearer the time. I'll show you all of that. There's a couple of Flosstubers I'd like to shout out as well. Probably should have done that at the beginning. They are new to Flosstube, so they've each done, at this point, as far as I know, only one video each. So there is Jackie, who is Comfort Stitching. I'll link them below. So she showed us quite a few bits of stitch, a lot of big charts. I think one of her first cross stitches was something like Consider the Lilies, which is just mind-blowing. It's such a big chart and it's absolutely beautiful. And then she showed one where she'd made changes to the people on it and made it into like her grandparents or her ancestors, or and she changed various little motifs, and it was so pretty. So definitely go and check out Jackie, Comfort Stitching. And the other one is Periwinkle Stitcher, Sean. Again, loads of beautiful things to show. She showed us lots of finishes and FFOs that she's done, lots of Brenda Gervais, really lovely stuff. So definitely go and check Sean out as well. Again, I'll link her below, and I'll link everybody else that I've mentioned as well. And I usually watch Charlie Feathers, Kim Stitchy Squirrels, Yasmin's Made with Love, Stitching Bee, Ellie, Sherry, so Just So Sherry. So yeah, I'll link everyone that I've mentioned below, and then you can go and check those people out too. Okay, that is it, apart from the Happy Mail and Haul. So if you're not here for that section, then fine. I will see you next time if you come back, which would be lovely. And if you're sticking around, get a drink. You might want to pause and get a coffee or something, because this box that I've got here that has my haul in it is full, and well, it's overflowing, to be fair. So I'm going to start with the Happy Mail. So a friend of mine, Lynn, who is Stitched by Lynn, again I'll put her link to her Instagram down below on Instagram. She's been having a bit of a de-stash, and she was selling some charts on Facebook, one of which I did buy actually, which will come into the haul section. I'm just trying to find, oh, I've lost that now. And then she did just message me and say, oh, I've got some grime guards that I don't really use them. Would you like them? So I said, oh yeah, you know, let me know what you want for them, and I'll take them. She said, oh no, that's fine. You can just have them. So this package arrived, and I offered to pay for the postage, and she wouldn't let me pay the postage either. And the package arrived, and in the package were, I thought there was going to be about 3 or 4 grime guards. I think there was about 5 or 6. So there was about 3, I think, of this fabric with the owls on. I mean, that's super cute, isn't it? So there's about 3 of that one. The teeniest, tiniest little grime guard I've ever seen with Santas on. And this little one with flowers on. And like I said, there was about 3 or 4 of the owls ones. And then wrapped up within that, there was some other little bits and bobs. So I did message her and say, oh, there's some other little bits here, but they were kind of in with them. Did you mean to send them? And she said, oh yeah, I'm just spreading the stitchy love because, you know, I've got to de-stash. And I thought, oh, that's just lovely. So in there was beeswax thread conditioner in this little bag, and they're 2 little shaped beeswax. You probably can't really see what that is, but I think it's like a little bee in there, and a little, is it a little boot? Yeah, like a stocking, Christmas stocking. So there was those. There is this tiny little like hoop frame. That'd be good if you've got a sampler or, you know, a larger project, to just stitch one of the motifs on a small, you know, small enough fabric so that it will fit in that space. That's not my idea. I've stolen that from various people who said it before, but it's such a good idea because you don't really get charts that small, but if you can just take one little motif from somewhere, then it's quite nice. Also were these thread winders. Now, are they by Kelmscott? Yeah, Kelmscott Designs. You might not be able to see those. I might have to take them out of the bag. So they're like little bird. I'll show you the little card. Little thread winders in like a mother of pearl. See if that will show up against my... I'll have to hold it against this board. It's super sweet. Really, really nice. So yeah, I was really lucky to get those. And then there was this little packet of, I won't be able to show you these because they'll just go everywhere, but basically they're tiny little snowflake buttons. I mean, they are minuscule. That probably won't even show, will it? But yeah, so that was really a really lovely batch of bag of Happy Mail. Now, she also sent me a chart for free as well, which I've obviously put in this box somewhere further down and not with these things. So when I get to it, I'll let you know which one it was. But it was a Barbara Anna designed with a sheep on, saying, I just want my wool back, like bar as in the sheep bar, and then CK back. I didn't really, if I can't find it, I'll put a picture in so you don't think I'm completely crazy. And then the other piece of Happy Mail, and I've left the needle minder over there, so I'll have to put a picture in of that, is this wonderful chart. So by Erica Michaels, and it is Charlotte Mullinger, and it's a reproduction sampler. And I won this from Talking Dog Stitcher, Rachel, on her Flosstube. She did a giveaway for this and a needle minder, and my name was picked by the random comment picker. So that was really nice. On the back, you can see the original sampler there. And then Erica Michaels has also done her adaptation and a smaller version using motifs from the big sampler to do the smaller one, which is what I really liked. So hopefully I can get that started sometime soon. Okay, so now we're into haul. Let me just move those around there. So the first things are charts that I bought at Create Nostalgia when we were away near Oswestry. So I got the set O Laurie Holt stitch cards, super cute. I really wanted this one. This was on my list. So this is Plum Street Samplers Autumn Cottage. I saw this on somebody else's Instagram or Flosstube, and I just thought it was really lovely. And then I did get the called for threads as well for that. Well, apart from one, which is going to be arriving in the post at some point. I got Pontini Cozy Autumn. So autumn is my favourite season. I thought that was really cute. That calls for Weeks Dye Works, but there is a DMC conversion, which I'll probably do. And then just before we were leaving, I spotted this one. I don't stitch a lot of Halloween, but I literally bought this chart for this guy in the middle. I mean, look at his face. So yeah, just thought he was fantastic. And like I said, at the weekend, we met in Oswestry at a fabric shop. I'll have to link them. So they do have a website, Textile Express in Oswestry. And they sell sewing fabrics of all descriptions, from quilting fabrics to, you know, upholstery fabrics to everything. It was a huge store. It just went off in all directions, all these little bits with all these rolls of fabric in. And they did trims in there as well. So like a whole little section of ribbons and cording and all pom-poms, the whole lot. So I did get a few bits in there trim wise. I did get a few, should have got those out, bits of cord, not very exciting, some bits of ribbon, just for finishing little pillows and stuff like that, if I just to add a little bit of detail, a bit of interest. And I did buy some fabrics in there as well, for hopefully for project bag making at some point. So I got these. Got this beautiful hare or rabbit one. A sort of ditzy rose pattern. The green background is much brighter, much nicer than it's shown on there. A sheep. I love sheep, as I'm sure I've said. So I love this one. The little sheep dogs and the rams and that one. And then I got this sewing themed one with sewing machine, scissors, reels of cotton and so on. But that was really good. And this one, bees and bee skips and yeah, honey, just lovely. So I got those from there. I also got these two bits of fabric, but not from there. These were from Poppy Patch. I thought they would go well together to make a project bag. And also from Create Nostalgia, these were underneath the fabric, so I forgot them. I got a couple of pieces of linen. This is 32 count linen called Water Lily. I think they're Weeks Dye Works ones. It's not going to show, is it? And 32 count linen in Laurel, which is a darker green. Got no plans for them, but it is quite a muddy dark green, really like that. But it is nice. No plans, but I just liked them, so I bought them. So then while we were away at the weekend, some of the girls on the Sunday went to a local car boot sale. Apparently it's a really popular one, and they said it was huge. I didn't go because they were leaving at 6:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. Now in my day, there's only one 6 o'clock, and that's the PM, not the AM. So I was definitely not getting up. I mean, I was mildly jealous when they got back and showed us everything that they bought. They found some beautiful, like, wooden boxes and like pictures that they were going to use the frames from. So yeah, there was a lot of lovely stuff did come back, but I just wasn't prepared to get up at that time to go. So they did also find a store where a man was selling like trims, but on the cards, where how you would buy them, wrapped around cards, and he was just selling them for like £1 or something like that, or 50p a whole card. And some of them were obviously never been used and were brand new, and some of them had had some taken off. So when they got back, they very kindly, all the girls shared out with, there was me and Kate who didn't go, but they all shared out bits of their trims with us. So we got, I mean, I can't show them really, but it's all these fabulous bits of like cording and lacy trims. I think this one is just, I have no idea what I'll do with it, but look at that. I mean, it's just amazing. I think it'd look quite nice along the bottom of a little pillow if you'd done sort of a vintage pattern. So yeah, so we were super excited about that. That was really good. So I've got plenty of trim, just need to actually do some FFOing. Okay, into other haul. So as I said about my friend Lynn, who sent me Happy Mail, the chart that I bought from her in her D-stash was this one, Time to Bloom. And I have seen it before, and then while we were away in Oswestry, Kate was stitching this. She finished it while we were there. And I just thought it was so cute. So yeah, so I got that from Lynn. And then also on a D-Stash Marketplace Facebook, I got this chart. Can't remember the lady's name, but this is Annie B's folk art, Down in the Valley. I just think that's so nice. And it says on it, down in the valley so low, hang your head ever, hear the wind blow. Roses are red, love, violets are blue, angels in heaven know I love you. Elizabeth Lowness, 1888. So that's really nice. I've got that. Then, as I said at the beginning, in defence of some of my haul, Mama Loves You GB released a couple of new charts. So the first bird that she released is Elizabeth's bird. And then at that time, she had in her shop a sale. If you bought 2 patterns, you got, I think it was 10% off. So it would have been rude just to buy Elizabeth's bird. So I got Elizabeth's bird, which looks like this. I mean, it's just beautiful. The colours on it are just lovely. So got her, and because there was the sale, I also got Be Not a Dunce. I thought that was quite a good one. So remember thy creator in thy youth, be not a dunce, strive to learn. So that was Mary Ann Kettle, 8 years old, 1838. So then I ordered the called for, oh, I should have opened this, sorry. I ordered the called for fabric for Elizabeth's bird, which Michelle stitched on. That's probably about right. And this is 32 count fibre on a whim, old gold, Belfast linen. It's so lovely. Perfect for that chart. And then after that, she released Little Blue Swoop on the same fabric. Look at that. So it's a little swallow. It didn't have any information on the original that Michelle could see. And her little girl used to, or does, call swifts and swallows swoops because she couldn't tell the difference between the two, or can never remember which way round to tell them. So this one is called Little Blue Swoop because of that. And we get a lot of swallows up at where we work. We have got a nesting pair in our, we rent a barn, a converted barn on a farm. And yeah, we've got a nesting pair in there that have built a nest on a beam high up, and are coming backwards and forwards to sort that out every day. So that's really nice. So along with the swallow theme, Pigeon Coop Designs released this chart, Sweeping Swallows. So this is a bit of a companion piece, he said, to the Blooming Swan, which I finished recently. If you go back, you'll be able to see Blooming Swan. Absolutely loved that design, loved stitching it. It was just fantastic. And some of these sort of motifs here, and in this one, these little flowers are using the same colours, and they are the same motifs as that are on the Blooming Swan. So bit of a companion piece in a way. So when you buy this, you get both of those charts where the swallow is swooping down or up. So you can do one or other or both. So yeah, love that. Pigeon Coop Designs. Oh, here's the free chart that my friend Lynn sent me. So this is what Lynn included in my little package. Barbara Anna, My Wool. So now I'm not totally crazy. You see, it says, I just want my wool bark. I love that little sheep. So the hearts on there are actually filled in with satin stitch, like long stitches. So I don't know whether I'll do that, but I thought I'd just pick my own bright colours and go with it, really. Then from a company on eBay, it's a shop on eBay, Fido Stitch Studio, I got this little kit, which is the magpie. I do love a magpie. This comes with, does it say there, 14 count, is it? Doesn't say. It comes with Ada, which I think is probably 14 count, so I will swap that out for an even weave. But the colours are just nice, and I did quite like him. So I got that. This kit was totally enabled by Charlie Stitches with Charlie Feathers, because I think she'd ordered this kit and another one from mybobbin.com. And then she sent me a link and a picture, and that was it. I was in. Look at it. So I've forgotten to look up, I think it's called something like Springtime Forest or something like that. Obviously that's all in Russian. I don't speak Russian. But yeah, super cute little bear. Really nice. I think I'm going to swap out the fabric in this. It might be Ada, it might not be. I think it's Ada, but not for that reason, just a different colour rather than just the white. But I'm not sure. I need to wait till I get to it. And I got this on eBay, which is a second-hand kit, but I haven't seen it before. So this is a Heritage Crafts kit, Thomas Butel, probably just butchered that, called In the Dales. And I live in the Derbyshire Dales. It's probably the Yorkshire Dales, but I'm on the border with Yorkshire, so I think it's fine. So I really liked that. The only thing I'm going to do with this one is swap out the Ada on this one for 32 count Cloud Summer Sky by Fabric Flair, because all of that sky is actually stitched and I don't want to stitch all that sky. So I'm going to stitch it on sky fabric, and then I only have to stitch the walls and the details below. And that's that one. And also totally enabled by the lovely Charlie Feathers, who has a wonderful coffee account, by the way, selling needle minders now, and her wonderful floss drops. Her floss drops are the best. So I'll link that below as well. So go and check her out. Check out her Flosstube as well. It's great. And on Instagram. So again, I think I saw this actually. So I might have enabled her and then she enabled me back. Something like that. Hobby Jobby were putting out pictures of new kits that they'd got. And they put a picture out of this one. Inner Spirit. I mean, just look at her. Look at her little face. So I think I sent a picture or tagged Charlie in the post on Instagram, something like that. And then it just all got out of hand and she ordered it and I ordered it and here we are. And she's actually already started hers. So she started with the face and I think she's got one of the eyes in and stuff and it just looks so nice. But then she did come down and do the feather, obviously being Charlie Feathers. It was perfect. So this was from Hobby Jobby. Now the great thing about Hobby Jobby is when you open this up and take the pattern out, there is a QR code that you can scan and you can get a copy of the chart in PDF. So you can put it into Pattern Keeper or Markup or whatever digital app you might use for marking off your charts. So that is a really lovely touch. Really, I think it's just a really genius thing from Hobby Jobby. I'm really impressed about that. So I'm going to swap out the fabric in here, which I believe is just white, for... that's not really showing very well, is it? Can't really see. This is 28 count Zweigart cashel linen, and I think it's called Sapphire or Sapphire Green. So yeah, that's the plan for that. Really knocked my lamp off there. Got a really precarious pile back there. So if there's a big crash in a minute, you'll know what it is. And then I think this is the last bit of haul, is a Disney cross stitch bookazine, I guess they call them, you know, a big thick sort of magazine that I got on Marketplace. Now I haven't shown my daughter-in-law Bethany this yet because I've had it in the box waiting to show you guys, because I think there'll be a few little Disney characters in here that she might like too, so we'll probably share this. But yeah, does it give you like a rundown of everything? It probably doesn't, but there's Mickey and Minnie, there's Lady and the Tramp, Aristocats, Bambi. See if I can actually show you anything. Tinkerbell. And it even has, so you've got Snow White there, for example, on a bookmark. It even has recipes. So, let me see. There you go. So, Easter nest muffins, for example. Because this is a spring book. Yeah, so that's quite a lot going on in there. So that was really nice to get that for a good price second hand on Marketplace. So I think that's it. That was an epic haul for me. That isn't normal. Although I've said that, but actually I think I had quite a lot of haul in my first video, to be honest. It's all the other stitchers. They're just enable. I mean, I've bought a chart this morning. I'll have to show you next time because I haven't got a printer at home to print off the cover sheet. I mean, I could put a picture in. And that was totally enabled by Emily, Stitching by the Seaside, because she posted something on Instagram this morning on her stories about a pattern by Ruthie from Crow's Feet Stitching called Summertime. And I was like, I'm all over that. So yeah, before I knew it was in the basket, paid for and downloaded. So yeah, I blame everyone else, frankly. I mean, it's all their fault. What can I say? So that's me. I'm going to hopefully catch that pile before it falls over and clear up and get back to stitching on the Dreaming of Summer sal, putting my house back in, seeing as I had to pull it all out this morning. And then I need to sort out my threads and get stitching on Seaside Tiny Town too. So until next time, happy stitching everyone.